some interesting things about John. Here I was, this 15-year-old little scrawny kid, and he was just so cool about the whole process.
With John Hughes, he had his pulse on adolescence. You know, in general, he had a really good sense of it. There was always this feeling that John never really grew up, you know, that he was one of those characters who he still could think like a teenager. He remembered what it was like to be a teenager. He knew that when you're an adolescent, the world is so centered around what you're going through and everything filters through that. I mean, these are all things that you can go to be clinical about, but he wasn't clinical about it. You always felt like he lived it.
I think that John, because of his work in Lampoon and because of his sort of vivid imagination and writing style, was not too far apart emotionally from the teenage years, and there were things that had happened to him that he had remembered. So whether he had a pulse on teens at that time, he had a pulse on teens of his generation, and he spoke to some sort of truth.
My experience of John is that he was very open when we did Breakfast Club. He is very sensitive, very funny, really excited about making his movie, and not a person who's cut off from how he feels about anything. Just, you know, sort of delighted by everything.
I just don't feel that there are a lot of filmmakers out there with the same affection for youth culture that John Hughes clearly had.
John probably felt that he was maybe sick of the term kids movie being a negative term, meaning, oh, if it's a kids movie, then it can't really be about anything. Then it will be frivolous. Whereas I think we all remember some of our most serious times in our lives have been in high school when the big, you know, you look back and you go, what an idiot. But it's like things were very serious, things that were of great concern to you in high school.
I don't think anybody can copy him, is what the problem is. You know, he's just so original and pulling the people in and his ideas. And I know that there were lots and lots of movies and television shows about the kids in high school, the group in high school, but I don't think anybody can quite get that particular style that he has and that he always had. So, you know, what are you gonna do? It is only him.
I think John's narrative voice took everything in another direction because he had a great ear for dialogue, for talent, for character, for everything. He was able to sort of see it all and put it all together.
He must have known that he had essential stories to tell about high school, and he must have been so aware of the moment that he was living in, the mid-1980s, because every detail in his movies, even now, looks right. It's like going through your yearbook. And I think that's why kids my age loved those movies so much, was because they really... I remember when The Breakfast Club came out and I was a junior in high school, it just seemed like finally someone made a movie about what I think about and how I feel.